public hearing. Our fourth public hearing. My name is Deborah Smith, and I'm the Bureau Chief for the Department of Economic and Community Development, and I have with me today Veronica Fields, who is the Grant Administrator. We want to thank you all for coming out to our fourth and final public hearing for our fiscal year 2026 annual plan. Mayor Devlin is unable to be here tonight. She sends her greetings to all of you. So the city is required to conduct 4 public hearings for our fiscal year 2026 annual plan. This is the 4th public hearing conducted today. This will be our last public hearing for our plan, which is currently on display on the city's website. The hard copy is actually at the community centers and at the Blasco Library. The City of Erie completed the 5-year consolidated plan for the 2025 through 2029 and fiscal year 2025 annual plan. In 2025, that's when we did that plan. We're currently doing the fiscal year 2026 annual plan. For the consolidated plan, we held several stakeholder meetings, focus groups, meetings, citizen input. From this consolidated plan, there were priorities and goals that were identified. And right now, I want to just go over what those priorities were from that plan. So the first priority was to increase access to quality of affordable housing. And if you want to follow, it's in your packet on page 1. And the associated goals for that was to provide homeowner rehabilitation assistance, provide rental rehabilitation assistance, create new affordable rental housing, and to increase home ownership. Number 2 priority was provide homeless housing services. And the associated goal with that was to provide homeless housing and services. Number 3 was improve public facilities and infrastructure. And the associated goal for that was to improve public facilities and infrastructure. Number 4 was to provide public services. And the associated goals was to provide public services. Number 5 was to eliminate slum and blighting influences, and the associated goals for that was to have code enforcement, demolish dilapidated structures. Number 6 was priority was economic development, and the associated goals were economic development, revitalize central business district. Number 7 was planning and administration, and the associated goals with that is to have planning and administration. Right now on your agenda, I'm going to discuss the funding amounts for fiscal year 2026. The City of Erie did receive our allocations from HUD. This year for fiscal year 2026, for our Community Development Block Grant, we received $2,909,512. Home Investment Partnership, $797,014.86. Emergency Solutions, $254,061. For our CDBG, we received $134,264 more than we did for the fiscal year 2025. For our home, we received $8,133.20 less. For the Emergency Solutions, we received $7,081 less. I'll now go over our proposed activities. Please note that these are proposed activities. There are some steps that still have to be taken in order for these to be finalized, and they have to go through City Council as well. If you look on page 11, where we list proposed activities for public services, the total public service is $760,968. Please note that we are only allowed to allocate 20.96% of the base allocation, or $778,960. For our housing programs, we have $289,228. Public facilities, $1,127,414. Special economic development, $155,000. General administration, $581,902. And so the total fiscal year 2026 CDBG funds for the project activities are $2,914,512. This includes $5,000 of program income. We'll now go to the proposed home investment program. So these are the proposed projects. We have $600,000 for rental housing, $117,313.86 for homeowner rehabilitation, $79,701 for administration. We are allowed to take 10% for administration. We have to set aside 15% for total set activities. The next proposed funding is our Emergency Solutions Grant Program, which lists proposed projects of operational costs of $152,436. We take 60% of what our allocation is and use that for the operational costs for the shelters. Rapid rehousing, which is rental housing for homeless individuals, that is 32.5% of what our budget is, which is $82,571. Administration is 7.5%, which is $19,054. I will now turn it over to Veronica Fields, who will give you information on the schedule for preparation, adoption, and submission of our fiscal year 2026 plan. Veronica.
Thank you, Deborah. Good evening, everyone. I'm on page 5 of your packet. Notice was published in the classified section of the Erie Times News on Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, announcing the first public needs and input hearing held on Monday, March the 2nd, 2026 at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Notice was published again on March 29th, 2026, announcing the second public hearing, which is being held today, April 13th, 2026 at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Citizens will be provided with an opportunity to present their views on housing and non-housing community development needs and to comment on the priorities and level of funding assigned by the City of Erie in addressing the needs as contained in the HUD 5-year consolidated plan. Critical dates: December 1st, 2025 to January 30th, 2026, solicitation of proposals, applications available beginning December 1st, 2025. January 30th, 2026, applications due. February 2nd through the 5th, 2026, review applications. February 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2026, presentation for CDBG and home projects. February 18th, 2026, published notice for first public hearing. March the 2nd, 2026, first public hearing, citizen input, hearings at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. March the 29th, 2026, published notice stating fiscal year 26 second annual draft plan. Notice will be on display April 3rd, 2026 through May the 4th, 2026. March 29th, 2026, published notice for second public hearing. April the 1st, 2026, presentation at City Council meeting. April the 13th, 2026, second public hearing, citizen input, hearings at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. May the 6th, 2026, council authorization to submit second annual plan to HUD. On page 6 of your packet, May 15th, 2026, second annual plan submitted to HUD for the required 45-day review period ending June 30th, 2026. June 3rd and 17th, 2026, council appropriation and authorization to enter into contract with subrecipients. And lastly, July 1st, 2026, the program year begins. Back to you, Deborah.
Thank you, Veronica. At this time, we'll have citizens' comments. If anyone would like to come up and provide citizen comments, we ask that you come up to the podium, state your name and your organization. If you're not an organization, state your name and your place of residency. You'll be allotted 5 minutes. Please note that we will not be responding to any comments today. Comments will be answered at a later date. So if anyone would like to come up now, we ask you to come up now.
Hello, Deborah, Veronica. My name is Floyd Hull. I represent the Achievers Entrepreneur Hub, AEH/Cornerstone Project. And the most important thing I want to tell y'all is to thank y'all very much for the opportunity to help us with the economic growth through helping businesses. This cohort that I'm presently in now, we have a a lot of people that had already started their business. Used cars, we have a young man that's going to be riding bikes, giving treats. We have Reiki, which I didn't know what Reiki was, but it's kind of a therapy. But these people, they all had different things, like if it's marketing, if it's accounting. And through the AAH program, through the blessings that y'all gave us, we was able to help them, and they had started businesses. Believe it or not, it's called Top Champs Automotive. They didn't even know what their break-even point was. They selling cars, that some of them at a loss. They paying mechanics more than they could, but through AAH, they was able to get their bottom line together before they went out the door. I feel that through the blessing y'all gave us, we help, and I feel so strong we're able to help these businesses before they fail and make them solid. And I'm hoping y'all can come to the graduation that we have in June 6th, so they can personally thank you for the opportunity to grow instead of fail. Thank y'all. Y'all doing a great job. Please note that, and I will tell the mayor when I see her.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to provide public comment? If so, we ask you to come now. Okay. All right. Well, we'll adjourn the meeting now. We thank you all for coming out. Our draft proposal is on the City of Erie's website, as I mentioned. It is also at the 3 community centers as well as the Blasco Library. Thank you all and have a good night.